I want to go now to Zach Beauchamp, who is a senior correspondent at Vox. Hi, Zach.
Thank you. It's been very interesting to listen to both of you talk about the specifics of these things, but I'd like to move a little bit more to a broader scope, because I think the sort of philosophical underpinnings of your two positions have not been fully explored in this conversation. And I guess I want to start by asking both of you questions that push you at the edges of that. So, Chris, your position throughout this debate has been one in favor of localism, primarily. But I want to read you some things that you've proposed in general, right? You have described your project as being a counter-revolution in which you advance a defund the left strategy where conservatives, quote unquote, cripple the critical ideologies within the federal agencies through executive order, strangle new identity programs and red tapes, and disrupt financing for such programs. You see your role specifically, again, I quote, as a narrative that can direct the emotions and energy of the public against the right targets. Now, to me, that doesn't sound like what you're saying is to each their own, each community can do whatever they want to do. It's that you see these little individual battles in specific school districts as part of a fundamental strategy for reshaping the ideological character of the United States. Not localism, right, but a counter-revolution across the nation.
It's a great question, and I won't duck. And in fact, I embrace it, and I appreciate Zach picking some very spicy quotes. But what we have to understand here is that our system operates at multiple levels, primarily the local level, the state level, and the federal level. Education in the United States is predominantly a state and local issue, and so a conservative counter-revolution is going to mobilize along those lines of our democratic system at school boards and then at state legislatures. And then the quotes that you specifically pulled from are from federal policy proposals dealing with federal personnel, federal grant funding, federal training programs, and federal distributions of resources to nonprofits and contractors and such. And so I advocate a conservative counter-revolution across all institutions at all levels while respecting the nature of federalism in our country, recognizing that education is best fought at the state and local level, while these federal policy issues are, of course, by the nature of their very existence, fought at the federal level, both through Congress and through executive order.
Okay, thank you very much for your question.